discuss 11.45 today. Adrishtapurvam Rishitosmi Drishtva Bhayen Cha Vatitam Manope Tadeva Me Darshaya Deva Rupam Prasida Devesha Jagan Nivasa. Can you read the translation?
Sure. After seeing this universal form, which I have never seen before, I am gladdened, but at the same time my mind is disturbed with fear. Therefore, please bestow your grace upon me and reveal again your form as the personality of Godhead, O Lord of Lords, O abode of the universe. Purport. Arjun is always in confidence with Krishna because he is a very dear friend, and as a dear friend is gladdened by his friend's opulence. Arjun is very joyful to see that his friend Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead and can show such a wonderful universal form. But at the same time, after seeing the universal form, he is afraid that he has committed so many offenses to Krishna out of his unalloyed friendship. Thus, his mind is disturbed out of fear, although he had no reason to fear. Arjun therefore is asking Krishna to show him his Narayan form, because he can assume any form. This universal form is material and temporary, as the material world is temporary. But in the Vaikuntha planets, he has his transcendental form with four hands as Narayana. There are innumerable planets in the spiritual sky, and in each of them Krishna is present by his plenary manifestations of different names. Thus, Arjun desired to see one of the forms manifest in the Vaikuntha planets. Of course, in each of the Vaikuntha planet, the form of Narayan is four-handed, but the four hands hold different arrangements of symbols: the conch shell, mace, lotus, and disc. According to different hands, these four things are held in. According to the different hands these four things are held in, the Narayans are variously named. All these forms are one with Krishna. Therefore, Arjun requests to see his four-handed feature.
So after seeing this universal form, which I have never seen before, I am gladdened. But at the same time, my mind is disturbed with fear. Therefore, please bestow your grace upon me and reveal again your form as the personality of Godhead, O Lord of Lords, O abode of the universe. Now, Arjuna is desiring to see Krishna's Saumya Roop because the Vishwarup form was too difficult to handle for Arjuna. And he's saying that my mind is disturbed with fear when I see you this form. So please bestow upon your grace upon me and again reveal your form as a personality of God. Because in that form, Arjuna can reciprocate with Krishna as friend. He can have loving pastimes of Krishna with Krishna as friend. But it's very difficult to relate with universal form for Arjuna. Arjuna is in transcendental relationship with Krishna. So he says Arjuna is always in confidence with Krishna because he's a very dear friend. The dear friend is gladdened by his friend's opulence. Arjuna is always in confidence with Krishna because he's a very dear friend. And as a dear friend, he's gladdened by his friend's opulence. Arjuna is very joyful to see that his friend Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead and can show such a wonderful universal form. So this is another non-envious attitude of Arjuna. Because when we see opulence of others in this world, we become envious. But here you can see Arjuna has a friendly feeling for Krishna, and Arjuna is completely non-envious. And Krishna says also, Anusuya, that you are completely non-envious. That's why I'm revealing this knowledge to you. In another purport, in another translation, another verse of Bhagavad Gita, it is mentioned like that. So he says Arjuna is very joyful to see that his friend Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and can show such a wonderful universal form. But at the same time, after seeing the universal form, he is afraid that he has committed so many offenses to Krishna out of his unalloyed friendship. Thus, his mind is disturbed out of fear, although he had no reason to fear. Because when he's seeing that form of Krishna, where he cannot relate him as a friend, then he feels that, I'm just committing offenses. Because how can I take this personality who is so powerful, is so great in as Vishwarupa form. So how can I be dealing with him in some ordinary way? So he feels that, oh, that means I've committed offenses. He feels like that. That is because of his unallied friendship. Like that. Thus his mind is disturbed out of fear, although he had no reason to fear. Arjuna therefore is asking Krishna to show his Narayana form because he can assume any form. So all the forms Krishna has within Narayana form, Narsimha Rupa, Kurma Rupa, because Krishna is called Avatari. All the forms are coming from Krishna only. So when Krishna appears in this world also, all the incarnations are within Krishna. He can manifest anytime, any incarnation. Jayadeva Goswami has written that song also. Keshavadrita Meena Sharira, Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa, Keshavadrita Kurma Sharira. Like that, he glorifies the Lord. No? How Keshavadrita. Keshav means Lord Krishna. He becomes Kurma, he becomes Varaha, he becomes Shukara, he says, but that is Varaha. Then Narsimha, like that. So Lord is actually the original Supreme Personality of Godhead, all Lord Krishna, and all their incarnations are coming from Krishna. Though they are equal with Krishna, but still they are expansions of Krishna. The source of those incarnations is Krishna. The Srimad Bhagavatam lists different incarnations, and he says Krishna is not avatar, he is avatari, because from Krishna all the avatars come. Sometimes people have misunderstanding. You think Krishna came in Dwapar Yuga, Ram came in Treta Yuga, so that's how they are all later. First Vishnu was there. But actually, they may come, that is, they are descending. It is not that they're taking birth or something. They're already there. They're eternally there. So, but Krishna is the original source of all that we have to know. But in the Vaikuntha planets, he has this transcendent form with 4 hands as Narayana. And here is saying that the universal form is temporary, material and temporary, as the material world is temporary, that we understand. So there are innumerable planets in the spiritual sky, and in each of them, Krishna is present by his plenary manifestations of different names. Thus, Arjuna desired to see one of the forms manifest in the Vaikuntha planets. Of course, in each Vaikuntha planet, the form of Narayana is 400, but the 400 hands hold different arrangement of symbols. This is conch shell, mace, lotus, and disc. They keep changing. Permutation combination changes, and then there are different Narayana form actually. How it is. According to the different hands, the 4 things are held. According to Narayana, Narayanas are variously named. All of these forms are one with Krishna. Therefore, Arjuna requests to see his 400 form. Or according to these different hands, these 4 things are held. And their name, all of these forms are one with Krishna. Therefore, Arjuna requests to see 400 feature. So after that, again, he will get his 200 form also eventually. So, yeah. So one thing we can see that how Krishna, he tells here also, see, here he says, Krishna is the original Supreme Personality of God. Yes. That comes in the next verse actually. So Arjuna is glad that his friend Krishna is so powerful that he is able to exhibit such an incredible form. Nevertheless, beholding that awesome form filled with fear, his curiosity not satisfied. Arjuna asked Krishna to conceal his universal form and again reveal himself as Krishna. First, however, Arjuna will request Krishna to reveal his Narayana form. Why? Because he again wants to prove that Vishwarupa form, Narayana form, they are all coming from Krishna. And Krishna's 200 form is the original form of the Supreme Lord. Sometimes, so in the Bible it is said, no, man, God has created man in his own image. Sometimes people think that, oh, because men are having this particular type of form, so that's why they're concocting or imagining the form of God like them. But it is not true. God has created men in his own image. It's like that. And our form is what is the body is actually is just made of matter, but Lord's form is not made up of matter. Lord's form is Sachidananda Vigraha. As soul, we are also Sachidananda, but we are not Supreme Sachidananda, like Lord. He is Vibhu, we are Anu. He is the infinite, we are infinitesimal. But we also have our spiritual form in the spiritual world. So, yeah, 45, right? So, and also Krishna is glad, Arjuna is glad that his friend Krishna is so powerful that he is able to exhibit such an incredible form. That gladness is there. And we know the purpose. Krishna requests Arjuna to, Arjuna requests Krishna to show the universal form because imposters should not take over in future because they will say that, oh, I am the incarnation. But they can claim that they're incarnation only if they can also show their Vishwarupa form. So Krishna actually is able to show his universal form as well. So nobody should imitate Lord. Nobody should think that I can become God by some kind of mystic yoga or some kind of practice. Nobody can become God. God is always God. And we always remain what we are, individual living entities. So that's why he's saying that though he was curious about seeing Krishna's universal form and actually for benefiting the whole world, but now he is not, the purpose is over and he's satisfied and now he's wanting him to have again his original form so that he can have a reciprocation of love with him like that. So more the intimacy is, the more the relationship becomes very deepened and intimate. To that degree, we actually love the person, and that awe and reverence doesn't become the prime thing, the main thing for us to be submissive to that person. We become very submissive and completely sold to that person because of love, intimate love, like that. So in Vrindavan, in the spiritual world, the devotees of the Lord, especially in Vrindavan, the love becomes so deep, so intimate that they just are sold out to Krishna, even though they are not even aware that Krishna is the God consciously. Like they know, but they don't know also because of too much of intimacy that the knowledge gets covered. So, and that's how they're able to deal in such great love and intimacy with Krishna as friend, as lover, as son, like that. So that's a very highest understanding of any theological study. How one becomes transcendently ignorant about the position of the Supreme Lord as the source of everything, and he is, he can actually have such great universal form, and all the universes are coming from him, and he is the God, like that. So that sometimes they may become apparently not aware of that because of too much of love, like that. So that's how, and that relationship of love is there between the soul and the living, between the soul and the Lord. That is eternally there. That cannot be taken away from us. That's there already. So when we are trying to practice Krishna consciousness, so we are actually wanting Krishna prema. We want to become lovers of Krishna. That's what we want. And we are already lovers of Krishna. We have to simply revive that love for the Lord, like that. So, and then we are naturally, completely sold out to the beloved. In this world also, you see, whenever you have love for somebody, then you bend for that person. You sacrifice for that person. You become sold out to that person. In this world, to some extent, you can see that. If there is some kind of love, some sense of love, we can get some understanding in this world. Like mother, having some love for the child. So how the mother is surrendered to the child. Same way, children also may sometimes reciprocate because of love of, their love for the parents. Like that. So you can see in this world also that principle works. Of course, that's not the pure love, but anything which is close to love has that nature. So that's why we are trying to cultivate love for the Lord, that we have to do. But as we trying to practice Krishna consciousness, we also are enthusiastic to read about the greatness of the Lord. That should not make us feel that, okay, I don't have to read Bhagavad Gita. I'm only going to read the pastimes of the Lord. No, we read both because the another side of the danger is that we may take Krishna cheaply in our neophyte state when we have not developed love for the Lord. So that's why Prabhupada also would emphasize that one should understand the greatness of the Lord. Prabhupada said that you can worship Radha Krishna in the mood of Lakshmi Narayan because first respect and then you practice nicely and then eventually as you get purified, then naturally there will be love. And then the factor of awe and reverence will naturally become secondary and you become more intimately connected to the Krishna out of deep love. That is the stage of eventually like Ruchi, Asakti, Bhava. In Bhava stage, one can get that. That's why one should not prematurely try to imitate the intimate lovers of Krishna. We have to also deal with deities and the Lord with great respect. Understand the glories of the Lord. Because that way we'll able to properly practice those processes of devotional service. But you have to know, but the goal is to develop intimate love for Krishna. Like that. It's not out of fear or out of desire or out of duty, but out of love we want to approach the Lord. That's the goal, love. Okay, I'll pause here. Anyone wants to share any one point?
I think I like, to me, one point that stood out is that we have the love for Krishna in us already, but we've forgotten it. And that's the problem. It's not that we don't have the love for Krishna, it's just that we have forgotten it and we need to uncover it. So.
Correct, very good. Any other point anybody wants to share?
Hare Krishna. I just want to say, I love this quiet challenge that I'm hearing from this quote is that Krishna's form allows us to remember or allows us to see what we can aspire to. So us being able to see Krishna and his greatness and the love that he pours out, I think that's a beautiful reminder that it's like, hey, this is something that I can work towards in this life. So that's all I have to say.
Yeah, basically attaining love for Krishna. That's what you're saying, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can you say again more what you said?
Yeah, sorry if my mic is. I'm on my phone
Yeah,
for.
no. I'm able to agree. Okay, go ahead.
So I was just appreciative of the fact that we are in this quote able to perceive the form of Krishna, and it just reminds me that, or it makes me feel that it serves as a reminder of what humanity can achieve if it works on, if it works towards becoming that virtuous. Like I don't know. I just the idea that you can feel and see the form of Krishna makes me feel like I can aspire to something.
Very good, very good.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the many impersonalists they have no goal. Their
Yeah.
goal is to merge in Brahman. That's kind of very dry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's why they cannot attain perfection because
Mm.
without having any shelter, as in personality, we
Mhm.
cannot actually be there in the spiritual realm.
Mhm.
Because the soul needs that shelter in personality. Soul needs that attachment to a spiritual form of the Lord.
Mhm.
So just like in this world also, we are attached to people, we're attached to personalities. So that's the nature of the soul actually. The nature of the soul is to be attached to the form, attached to the person. So it has to be doubted towards the supreme personality.
Mhm.
Where we want to have relationships, we want to have exchange of love. So this all things has to be doubted to the supreme personality. And when there is no person, where is the question of love? Where is the question of exchanges?
Mhm.
Where is the question of gratitude? All that stuff.
Mhm.
Where is the question of service? You can serve only a person. I cannot serve with this bottle.
Mhm. Mhm.
So you can only serve person. So when you say serve the divine and all, it means there's a personality. It's a divine personality, supreme personality. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Thank you. Srinivasan Prabhu, Arya Prabhu, and Puna Mataji. One point. Just 1 point quickly. Okay.
Hare
Yeah.
Krishna Prabhu, I think that yeah, I really agree with these points. That like Krishna is showing us his he's showing us his mercy by showing us the two-handed form. Because when Arjuna saw the Shrirupa, he was overwhelmed, and Krishna is showing us his much more pleasant and his much more the form we can engage with the most, and the form that we can also assimilate with the most. So he's showing us his mercy through that.
Okay, I'll pause here then. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare Krishna.
You want to share? Yeah, Srinivasan Prabhu, you can share.
Oh, my point was, thank you, Prabhuji. My point was, first we have to worship Lord Shri Krishna and Srimati Radharani with the same awe and reverence as that we offer to Sri Lakshmi Narayan. And then as we progress in that way, like we will get that love for Krishna, that Vraja love, Vrindavan pastimes. So first is respect, awe and reverence, and then the love blossoms.
Yeah, basically, the point is one should not become like sahajya, cheap.
Right.
Like suppose deity worship is there, so especially for deity worship, Prabhupada has told that one should worship the deities, with great awe and reverence. Love also, but out of love, it should not happen that we are not following the rules and regulations of deity worship. They should be worshipped as Lakshmi Narayan, strictly, punctuality and cleanliness and everything. But yes, but the ingredient, what we want to develop is affection and love for sure, which eventually should be freed from Ashwarya Bhava also. So yeah, but we begin with proper respect for Guru and for the Lord, and that's how we progress. So why it is said? Because it's a danger to one may take cheaply. So yeah.
Right.